so insane. And through shit you can't explain. Wisdom Wayne, so insane. Tell me what is on your brain. Tell me what is on your brain. Yeah.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the Wisdom Wayne podcast. I am your host, Matt Velvet, and today we are talking about what it's like being 90 days sober. I'm drinking 8 o'clock coffee that was BOGO at Publix, hashtag not sponsored. So yeah, I've been sober for 90 days now, and it feels like it's been forever. But at the same time, it also feels like I'm just getting started. And I especially feel that way when I hear other people share at meetings and they have multiple years or, a year or more of sobriety. But, I am just taking it one day at a time, and I'm very grateful for where I'm at right now. And, I look forward to many years of sobriety. But, one day at a time. So tonight I was asked to speak at this facility that's an all-girls facility for teens that are dealing with substance abuse and things of that nature. And it was the first time I was kind of asked to, I was asked to speak at another meeting like that, with, like older people in Gainesville, but everyone else kind of shared too. And I did another meeting where it was at a facility and, everyone spoke there too, but this was the first time that I was kind of like the guest speaker. So that was really cool. And when I said yes to this opportunity, I didn't really realize that's what it was. I thought I would just be doing like what I've done before, just going with multiple people and us all sharing our stories. I didn't know that I was the guest speaker. So I'm kind of glad I didn't realize that, because I wasn't as nervous, because I was like, oh yeah, whatever. When I realized that it was like a group of teenage girls, I was kind of like, how am I going to be able to relate to these people? And is my story going to add any value to their life? But, I was kind of just like, let me just share my story, share parts of it that I think might benefit these girls. I wasn't really nervous. I felt very comfortable. It was very easy. And at the end, they had a lot of questions, and they were all kind of sharing how they related to my story. And so I felt good that I was, it wasn't a waste of time, that I was able to benefit them in some way. It made me feel, like I was being of service and being useful. So that was nice. But that's kind of like an overarching theme that I've noticed in this 12-step program, is that, we can relate to the most unlikely people. And when I first joined the meetings and started going to meetings, especially when I was in LA, I was gravitating more towards people that were more like me, or people that I thought were cool. And that's not really a great thing to do in sobriety. And it was really my first sponsor that was like, I don't think you should focus so much on what people are like. I think you should go to as many meetings as you can and learn from people, and you'll be surprised from the people you can learn from. And as any alcoholic would, I hated being wrong. Because my sponsor was actually right. I remember my first week back in Gainesville going to meetings. I was kind of like disappointed and was like, oh, they're not as cool as the people in LA. But now, like, I love all the meetings I go to and all the people that I see. And I just joined my first home group, technically. And it's really cool. And the person who invited me to speak tonight at the other meeting, is in my home group, so that's really cool. I've been humbled a lot through my 90 days of sobriety, and I think that's a good thing. Humility is important, especially for growth. So I'm happy for all the humility I've experienced, and I think it will just better me. So yeah, I was really grateful to speak at the meeting tonight. I was pleasantly surprised that, they got something out of it and I got something out of it as well, which is the whole point of the program, is to help each other stay sober. So that's what we did tonight. I also went in for the rest of my hiring for a new job I'm starting at Santa Fe College. I will be tutoring students in graphic design and computer literacy through the art department. And I got that job through someone in the meetings. So that's pretty cool. You know, it's amazing the opportunities you get being in this program. And I'm really grateful for that because, it's been kind of like a weird period for me not working and leaving a job that I was at for 14 years. Like, that was all I knew, basically. Like, I'd done internships and stuff like that, but no real, like, other jobs in that time. So, this is all very new to me, so having someone to take a chance on me like this person did is really cool, and I'm really thankful for that. And I think it's something that I want to do for other people as well. I think this sense of community is really a great benefit of the program, and we all just want to help each other, and I think that's really amazing. So I will be starting at this new job, and I'm very excited. So I want to get back to work. I've done some little side jobs here and there and like DoorDashed and stuff, but I'm excited to start this new career path. I think it has a lot of potential and there's a lot of room for growth. I think I wanted to be doing something more creative, and that's what I'm working towards. So cheers to that. I was talking to my therapist the other day about approaching 90 days of sobriety because it's one of like the benchmarks in the program. There's 24 hours to 30 days. That's a big one. And then there's 60 days, 90 days, 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, and then a year. And then after that, it's every year. And she told me that 90 days is when a psychological change happens. So I didn't really realize that, and I think that's really cool. And I am feeling a psychological change. I have been feeling it leading up to this benchmark of 90 days. It's become a lot easier to be around alcohol and not want to drink. That's something I've noticed. Kind of just some of that obsession with alcohol and marijuana has subsided. I'm not as obsessed with it as I was before. I think a big part of that is getting through the steps as well. There's different opinions on how quickly someone should go through the steps. But what they did back in the day was they would go through them really quickly, sometimes in just like one day. So I'm happy that I have gone through them, and I'm in the point now where I can start sponsoring other people, which I'm excited about. And I have an opportunity to help co-sponsor someone with my sponsor. So I'm excited about that. So some things that I've noticed in my first 90 days are how important it is to go to meetings, how important it is to have a sponsor, how important it is to get through the steps, and how important it is to help others, talk to people. There's all these different things, reading the book. And what I've realized is that you really get out of the program what you put into it. So I think that's really important to remember. And I'll just say I'm not a spokesperson for this program at all. I'm not even going to say what it's called because that's one of our traditions is to not talk about it, the program. But I can talk about sobriety and my experience with it. And I'm not aiming to recruit people or anything like that. I'm just sharing my experience and my journey with being sober. It's something that I've tried to do in the past, but couldn't really do it on my own. And I stumbled upon this program that works for me and has worked for a lot of other people throughout the years. I don't have any plans on drinking anytime soon or smoking. I have been feeling really productive. I feel like I'm adding value to people's lives, whereas before, I didn't really feel that way. I have successfully tapered off of my anxiety medication with the help of my doctor. I'm healthy, happy, and doing great. I started writing a book about my journey and about my life and about things starting in high school. It's been very therapeutic to kind of just get all that out of my mind. And I think I might release it once it's done, whenever it's done, if I finish it. Not sure. I think it'll be really cool. I've been reading these books by Augustin Burroughs that my friends Josh and Dalton sent me. And he went through the program. He has been on a sober journey, and he kind of like wrote some memoirs based on his experience with being in rehab, being in detox, becoming sober, relapsing, dealing with relationships, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been really inspiring for me to write down my own experiences. And I've always kind of been better at writing than verbally, like explaining myself or, stuff like that, other than talking to a camera. But that's just kind of like my update. I never thought I would make it to 3 months sober, but I have, and I hope I make it to 3 more months. But like I've learned in the program, I just gotta take it one day at a time. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. But yeah, in the last 90 days, I have done a lot of traveling, which is something that I really wanted to do this year. So that's really cool. I got a new job. I still have a roof over my head. I have a car that's paid for. I have a great network of support here in Gainesville. And yeah, things are going really well. That's about all I have for this one. Thank you guys so much for listening to and watching the Wisdom Wayne podcast. There's been a lot of people watching the first episode of the podcast, which is about my Ouija board experience. So I might do an update to that or something related to that or something else. So if you have any ideas of what you'd like to hear about, like Ouija boards, paranormal experiences, tarot cards, stuff like that, let me know down below. But until next time, thank you so much for watching the Wisdom Wayne podcast. I'm your host, Matt Velvet. Love ya. Bye.